Last week, a member left a comment on my YouTube channel asking, why are you pushing government employees to resign? Now, let me be honest with you. When I first started in financial planning, I wasn't just motivated, I was frustrated. My dad lost a lot of money, over 500,000 when he had opted to retire, and he didn't get the right advice. And to be honest, it felt like he was robbed. Now, growing up, we didn't have much. My dad's financial loss meant no savings, no safety net. And while other kids were out playing with their friends, I was delivering newspapers because I just wanted to have enough money for my clothing. And despite graduating grade 12 with amazing results, I couldn't further my studies because my parents simply didn't have the money. So when I got into financial planning and I saw the mistakes that my dad made because of a lack of knowledge, I made it my mission to ensure that other government employees and their families wouldn't have to suffer like we did. But here's the thing. Over the years, I've realized that retirement isn't a bad choice either. In fact, I've guided a number of members to retire when it made the most sense for them. So, why do my videos often focus on resignation? Well, actually, they don't. You see, I create these videos because of my purpose, and my purpose is to help empower you with knowledge and help you to avoid costly mistakes like the ones my dad had made. It's not about pushing you towards retirement or resignation, it's about helping you to make the best decision for your unique situation. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain why government employees should not even focus on retiring or resigning, but should rather focus on financial freedom. And once you unlock this secret, you'll know exactly which route is best for you. Now, I want to start off by giving you an understanding. What is it when I talk about financial freedom? What exactly is it? And simply put, financial freedom, the way that I'm referring to this, is the ability for you to live life without the fear of you running out of money. So, this is quite a key thing, right? See, without fear, running out of money. And wouldn't that be nice? Getting to a place where you could live your life without this concern that you could run out of money. Now, there are many factors that would come into play here in order for you to get to this space. The idea that or the seed I want to plant in your mind is when you focus from a higher perspective of living life from that place where you want to enjoy full financial freedom, not being concerned of running out of money, then it doesn't matter which route you're taking, isn't it? Whether you retire or resign, because now you know, hey, the outcome that you want is this. The outcome you want is to ensure that you have full financial freedom. So then it becomes a matter of, okay, you're aiming for financial freedom, which route is going to help to get you there? Which route is going to put you in a position where you can ensure that you can enjoy life without running out of money? Now, let's go take a step back. I want to start to have a look at what could cause you to run out of money. And I want you to make a note. If you've got a page and pen, please press pause and start making notes of this, right? So start to analyze what could cause you to run out. And while we are together, let's take a look at some of them. So I'll just say run out here. And I'm going to go through 3 of them in closer detail now. But the things that could cause you to run out of money, the easy one, right, is tax. We know that's a big factor because think about it. If you end up paying more in tax, that could result in you getting less as a lump sum, whether you're taking the gratuity as a 1/3 or whether you're taking your true 1/3 lump sum, right? Sorry, the gratuity is not a full 1/3, but whether you're taking your gratuity or the true 1/3, if you're paying a lot in tax, you're not getting much of your money back. Same on the income side. If the tax is still high, then the money that's coming into your pocket afterwards is going to be a lot less. And you also want to have a look at the length of time that you're paying tax, right? So if you live for another 20, 30 years and you're paying X amount in taxes over that time, can you imagine how much of your money is going just in tax alone? So that's the one secret here is you want to look at tax. Then what could also cause you to run out of money is just bad advice. Like the situation that happened with my dad, it could be also a lack of knowledge. So if you don't get the right type of guidance, and this could present itself in different ways because bad advice could lead to you making poor decisions from a tax perspective. Bad advice could lead to you making poor decisions from an investment perspective. It could lead you to making the wrong choice, whether you're choosing to retire or resign. It could lead you to make mistakes with regards to protecting your legacy. See, maybe even investing into the wrong funds. So bad advice has a ripple effect. And sometimes when it comes to bad advice, we just can't see it up front, right? Especially with this type of profession, it's different from other professions. It's not like my iPad here, for example. I walk into the Apple store and I see the machine. When I open the box and I have a look at it, if there's a crack on the screen, it's very visible, you agree? I can see the crack on the screen. But when it comes to advice, it's something that's not tangible, meaning you cannot see it, you cannot touch it or taste it, you have to experience it, which means it's only at a later stage that we get to see whether this is actually something that works to your best interest. Now, if you've been following my videos, if you've watched the masterclass, you know that I put significant amount of time in helping government employees, and there are a number of strategies that I've created for members to ensure that they can eliminate those risks, right? Or bring it to its absolute bare minimum. So no excuses here. You can actually plan this very carefully, but we'll come into the bad advice again shortly. Now, what are the other things that could cause you to make a mistake here? One is listening to colleagues, right? I did create a YouTube video where I had discussed this. Sometimes you might want to look at your colleagues to see what decisions they had made. Remember, their situations might be different to yours. It could cause you to run out of money because you don't know their full situations, right? They might not disclose the full thing. You could also run out of money because of investing. Either route, whether you retire or resign, you're going to get a lump sum, you're going to get a monthly income. Chances are some of your money is going to be invested. If you don't invest properly, it could lead to tax issues, it could lead to unnecessary risk of the money, could lead to market losses, you see? So I'm giving you some ideas here just to get your memory jogging, right? Or just to get you thinking about what could cause you to run out of money. Now, when we're sitting on a one-on-one, as I connect with you, I'll go into more details so that you have deeper insights. For now, let's go in on more of the elements. So from a tax perspective, I want you to also pay attention to the different ways in which SARS could tax you, right? One we know is of the gratuity. Right? This is if you are aiming at retiring. If you're aiming at resigning, you know, you can access your true 1/3, usually higher than the gratuity, right? Which means tax should be higher, right? However, again, if you are in a position where you are able to get good quality advice, you can adjust this where you can create the tax saving. So the first tax that you want to be mindful for is a gratuity. Then keep in mind, you want to look at what's the tax on income. So whatever income you are collecting, again, whether you choose to retire or resign, as long as you're receiving an income, that income is taxable. So you want to pay attention to the tax from that perspective. Then you want to start to have a look at what's the tax that arises on death. What's the tax that arises on death? Especially if you're aiming at resigning, because then the goal, I'm assuming, is you want to protect your legacy. You have more control over your money. So you want to make certain that you have access to this capital. You're not leaving a big chunk of this back to SARS into what's called estate duty. So you want to be mindful from a tax perspective how that works. Then you want to keep in mind that money that you are saving inside of a bank account, you will earn interest, and that interest will also attract tax. And certain types of investment will attract tax as well as something called capital gains tax or CGT. So keep all these areas in mind from a tax perspective. And then bad advice. Now, I did discuss this a little earlier. We're going to slight more detail now, but if you're following again the YouTube videos, you're following how I've shared this in the masterclass, you really can ensure that there's a number of steps you can put in place before you commit yourself. Let's go look at some of the key points. One, don't sign. Please don't sign. Right? Before you commit yourself into some type of situation, take some time to give thought to it. Take some time to make sure that you understand exactly what's happening. Review the situation with the financial planner or your specialist. Is this genuinely focused on you? Is it generic planning? Is it the same thing given to everyone? Or is it something that's specific to you and your situation? I also want you to keep in mind that you must plan ahead. Please, I must stress this. Sometimes I have members reaching out to me. They are leaving at the end of the month and they need assistance with the resignation. It's not impossible to do, but it's just a lot of information needs to be downloaded in a very short space of time. And this is where it can open up to mistakes or just feel very overwhelming. Whereas if you're planning ahead, you're planning 6 months ahead, 12 months ahead, 2 years ahead, it just gives you the space to think about things so you can make more informed decisions, right? And then the chances of bad advice becomes less likely. I just want to give you one more tip here is you can always test. So if you have the time with your financial planner, you can always test, and you test with something small. So you might have a resignation benefit sitting in the millions, and you're deciding whether to retire or resign. But you don't have to test with that value. You could test with a small investment. Maybe you've got a retirement annuity, some money that you've saved in the bank, a small amount, 50,000, 100,000. You test with things like that first before you place millions into the hands of a financial planner or specialist, right? Then you know whether you're getting good advice or not. And then lack of knowledge. Now, this, as I've shared at the start of the video, this is the reason why my dad had made those mistakes. I can't really blame him, or even some of the members that have made mistakes in the past, right? However, no excuses now. I'm working hard with these YouTube videos. It takes me a long time to make sure I'm getting the prep done. I spend, significant amount of time researching the topics and the content. And the reason is I want to make sure that it is informative and puts you in a place where you start to see things differently, right? Because whether we partner together or not, but I do want to ensure that you don't make the same mistakes. Every single government employee is empowered, and they don't make the same mistakes that, my dad had made. So from a lack of knowledge perspective, you've got access to this YouTube channel. It's got hundreds of videos now, and they're all designed to empower you as a government employee to help you make better decisions with regards to your finance. In addition to this, I also have the masterclass, the Retire vs. Resign masterclass, created just for you. And again, it's a single focus. The goal is to compare retiring and resigning. I look at many different aspects. In fact, I've researched it so extensively. I've been running that masterclass for years, trying to pinpoint exactly what were the pain points, the areas of concern for members. And we identified 7 key elements. So the masterclass goes to those 7 elements. It's covering income, it's covering tax, it's covering cap leave, all the elements that you need in order to ensure that you're planning from the best perspective possible. In addition to that, I've also created a pre-98 tax guide. And the pre-98 tax guide is to help members who started before 1998 avoid making a mistake when it comes to their taxes, right? You want to ensure that you're maximizing it and getting full leverage from it. So I hope the video has been helpful for you. Give me a comment below. Tell me what has been your takeaways from the video. And remember, there are a number of government employees who haven't even gotten started with their retirement and resignation journey. I want to encourage you, let's try and ensure that the entire community is protected. The YouTube videos are free, so share the link amongst your family and friends. Let's make sure that as a community, every single government employee, every single member is protected and making better decisions. I'll catch you on the next video.